I can't see you yet. I'll see you in a jiffy as soon as I get this little device on. Excuse me. Okay, let's see. Oh, wait, whoa, bright lights. Oh dear. I have no idea what that is. So, signing in, I'll be right with you. So I'll be able to, oh, give me a break. So I can see who's here, if anyone. Oh, for goodness sakes. Uh-oh. There we go. Well, I wonder if I'm signed in desktop. Maybe that'll help. Oh dear. If there's anyone here, hello. If there isn't, I'm going to continue anyway. Oh dear. Because I have a lot. Oh, hi, there's everybody. Hey, and I have to edit that description. Let me turn down this fan. Just one quick second. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. It's hot. Because I have a lot of announcements, and I'll just put the descriptions. I have them on one little thing, and it didn't come over. So let's see. Pie Cutie, hi. JD Allison. Good evening, blessings. Allie, Deep South. Pie Cutie Mama 4, and everyone else. Good to see you. I bet you I could slip it on there now, but we have a full agenda tonight. So everybody can see. I can see. So if I can see, you can see. How's that? That makes sense. I'm going to put this over here. Okay, first, well, let me see if I can. Hey, let me see. Oh, B-Man is in the other room. He was going to join me tonight. He is moderating. So if you see comments, he signed in as myself also. So if you see comments, that can be either or of us. Okay, I'm just going to watch over here and say, welcome. Oh, great. I should learn how to spell. I gotta learn how to spell. W-E-L-C-O-M-E. There we go. That's enough for that. Yeah, B-Man. But he had a small accident. Just a small. B-Man here, yeah. If you watch the 6-minute video on our channel, you'll see that we successfully installed 27 new nucs. And so we're figuring out how to feed these lovely, wonderful bees. And so he was going over some of our Boardman feeders. Remember what they are. I'm going to show you. Just a second. This one. These are back from when we used to use them, and so they're a little dirty. Ooh, they're a lot dirty. But let me get the jar. Wait. Remember, this is the most inexpensive way to feed your bees. I personally like them. A lot of people don't like them. They say that it causes robbing. Okay, so because of that, but anyway, this is a Boardman feeder. This part slips into your entrance. This part here, remember we went over this in class. This part, you know, it's a canning jar. You put your top on there and your lid and everything, and you poke holes in it, and then you turn it upside down, and it'll fit here. Put your sugar water in here, and then it comes out here very slow, and the little bees eat it. And a lot of people think that it causes robbing. What do I mean by robbing? I mean that we talked about robbing. I mean that, hi, Reba, aka Farm Barn. Hello, new to your channel. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Tim's World. Good to see you. I mean that yellow jackets, bumblebees, wasps, ants, everything down there will smell it, okay, and they'll come and try to take the honey away. I mean the sugar water, okay? That's what I mean. So from there, we went to the top high feeders. Go back to when we had school, and you'll know that top high feeders fit right on top of the bottom, the top board. Remember, the top board is traditionally wood. Those are the ones we were using before. DC Kool-Aid, good to see you. Now, thanks to heads up from Jerome Bee Farmer Farms. If you're not subscribed and watching Jerome Bee Farms, you need to. He's a good beekeeper. He's in Oklahoma, and I'm looking this way Instagram because my camera's over here. Okay. And because we're very concerned with overheating in the hives, we've gone to screen inner covers. Well, on top of your nuc or your deep or whatever you have, we now have a screen. Instead of the wood, we have the screen inner covers that lift up. So, hi, Sophie's Passion for Cooking. Good to see you. So that, and thumbs up, folks, on the way in. Thank you. The real thumbs up. But anyway, so we're using those for the cooling because, you know, we're constantly reading and studying and listening. Listening is the best thing you can do to other people, and people, even those like I mentioned before, who don't have bees, who will tell you something they read, or most people that don't have bees and aren't too afraid of them will watch Discovery Channel and all of those shows, and they'll learn things and they'll pass them on to you. But anyway, so when the bearding, which is, remember we spoke about the bees being outside your hive when it's really hot, that actually means that the hive is too hot and they can't maintain it at their temperature. So we're going to do everything we can to keep our bees cool in the summer and warm in the winter. More about winter as we go on. So what we're doing is, because we have the screens in there, to put the top feeders in, which covers the whole hive, and they're solid, that would be counterproductive. Also, we noticed last year that some bees got stuck in the screen. Not a lot, but enough to make it careful. I mean, enough to be concerned about, and would drown in there because those feeders would hold at least a gallon, I want to say. B-Man can put that in there. Okay. Yeah, good to see you, Sophie's Passion for Cooking. So we've gone to another method, which is the bucket method. Okay, and basically, what it is a bucket. I don't want to see the print here. So we have two down there now, and hubby says they're working. Hi, Allie. It's so good to see you. Okay, that they're working like they're supposed to. They work on gravity and suction. B-Man, I know you can hear me. You can put in there whatever you want. But basically, what you do is you fill this up with your, and I don't know how many gallons this is. It's not 5, I can tell you that. Maybe, oh, I don't know. B-Man, you're going to have to, getting started, where do I send info? Well, we're going to cover it, getting started about the swarms, but I had the information. You don't have an email on your channel. I couldn't find it. So we're going to go over it in a little bit. Okay, getting started, and then we have some housekeeping stuff to go through too, which is a small unboxing and something about an auction and everything else. But anyway, and this, it has to have the grooves. See the grooves here on the bottom? See the little, let me get the right way. See the little, it has to have these. Whoa, let me go this way. It has to have, hey, where are the grooves? Oh no, here we go. See these little things? It has to have these little things, okay? Now, I forgot where you drill the holes. Oh, this one's already drilled. Okay, so you drill the holes inside. I don't know if you can see them. They're 1/16, 1/16 big. Right there? I think he said he wanted to do 1/8. They all said 1/8, and he did 1/16. As far as the size of the hose. Where is this going? Where are these little, oh, they're going, the little holes, the holes, I don't know if you can see the holes. He drilled these today. Okay, the holes, let me get this right, because I'm going left to right. Right here, all the way around are the holes. You can't see them, I can feel them, like all around down here. Not at the very top, okay? And so keep in mind you've got this ridge here. Okay, you've got this ridge. Okay, see the ridge? All the way around. This ridge. Right here. Ridge, 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 ridge. Okay. So, since I'm the one making this syrup up, I said don't put it all in there. What if it doesn't work? But it did work. Breakaway, good to see you. Welcome. Hi, Rosanna. Good to see you. Welcome. Star Knight. Oh, great, Star Knight. You've come to the right place. You like bees? Thanks. Okay, getting started. So, moving on. If you have questions, ask B-Man. He's the Bee Lady Apiary. Oh, I'll get back to what happened to him. Okay, so then you put the top on. You know, it locks on here. And you turn it upside down. Yeah, we have ours on cement blocks. There'll be a picture coming out, probably on Instagram. If you're not following us on Instagram, you're not seeing what we're doing, because all of our pictures that we take from day to day to day are over on Instagram. I have slideshows that I keep trying to get to work here, but they're not working. So I'm going to try again at the very end. 1/16, very good, B-Man. So, and at first it leaks out a little bit, but then gravity, suction, something stops it. And these little, wherever they are, where are those holes? They fill up. Oh, here are the holes in here. Oh, for goodness sakes. This is like, in here are the holes. And see? Can't see the holes, but all these little thingamajigs fill up. And it's like this. And it has to be level. And ours are level. And then the bees are right here. And I don't know why they don't fall down in there. I have no idea. I'm going to check on these tomorrow. We have 2 down there now. B-Man says they're working fantastic. And aside from bulk feeding, which is what we call that, putting them interspersed between the hives, the directions all say to have them at least 30 feet near the hives. However, since we have nucs, which are, to me, little babies, more on those later, I wanted them in between the hives. Hi, Marty. Good to see you. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. So he put them on cement blocks, and we have that little path we spoke about in our bee classes to be able to go through the hives as you're working. And so that's where we have these two at. So, and then maybe 10 feet away, 20 feet away, I don't know, is the pond, which is huge, enough water for bees, whatever. I can't help, I can't hear, but I'm in chat. Oh, Susan, so good to see you. Where is Susan? How do I do this? Hi, Susan. So, whoops. Oh, I forgot to tell Kelly we were live. Oh, she'll show up. Come on, Kelly. I have to send her my ESP because I can't use my phone, the messenger, because that's streaming. But anyway, so that's what we're doing now. So anyway, in the meantime, we have a box of Boardman feeders over there. And hubby was going through the jars, and we're putting together how many we're going to need and so forth. Because it's going to be either the Boardman feeders, a combination of the two, depending on how the bees are doing. And one of the jars, unbeknown to him, was broken, and he cut his finger, and he got glass stuck inside. And it was very painful, and he couldn't get it all out, so hence he had to go to the emergency room, and they had to cut. They x-rayed and says, oh yeah, there's glass in there, like a football, and it's on his pointer, as the nurse called it in the hospital, and he has stitches, and it hurts, so. He's moderating, but it hurts, and he's, I was in Facebook, but was the only one? Could be, Susan. Yeah, I have to get more advertising over on Facebook. Basically, it's there, Susan, for people that catch it later, if they want to catch it later. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, thank you, Susan. Don't forget, folks, change that top chat, live chat, because I always forget unless Susan happens to be in the chat with me. So that's what happened to B-Man. And, he had to get tetanus shot and another shot and all this other stuff. So it's not looking good. So, I mean, he'll be okay. The stitches come out, I think, in 5 to 7 days. So I tried, okay. And I tried chicken waters for sugar wafers. Is that what he got cut on? Chicken waters? He got cut on, it was a canning jar. And we have canning jars all around this place. But it was a canning jar, and it was broken. And he didn't see it in the box with the feeders, the Boardman feeders. And so he sliced it before he could do something. I tried chicken waters for sugar waters. Is that what he got cut on? I don't know. Could you make that a little more clear? Getting started, and help you get on that. But anyway, so I'm gonna put the links in our hi Noah's Ark, good to see you, in our description. I have them in the description for where I'm streaming, but it didn't carry over to YouTube. So anyway, it's Chautauqua Apiary, and I'm glad we got our nucs from there. B-Man, you're going to have to type in the one guy that he gets his queens from. The apiary where we got our nucs, there, it's just a beautiful place. We went there, and nucs everywhere. They're on 25 acres. They're off-grid, and I could be off-grid like they're off-grid. And she homeschools, and it's just beautiful. I mean, what they see and everything, it's really in the country. In fact, when I came back here, I said, oh, this isn't country, this is city. This felt urban to me. But anyway, she makes soaps, and they were visiting, yesterday, before they need to be refilled. I don't know, Deep South. This is our first time doing the buckets, our very first time, only because we now have 30 beehives down there. Okay, so because we invested in screen top boards, under our top cover, we can't put a top feeder on there. First, because it's solid on the bottom, and it'll be counterproductive to why we got the screens to keep the hive cooler in the summer. I mean, there isn't any shade where we have our hives. So I don't know. Also, the top feeders, we found that some of the bees were drowning in there. It's, you know, they have to climb up, they go around this net, and they get their sugar water, and then they go back in. Well, a lot were drowning, depending on what was going on, you know. But anyway, she makes these soaps, and when they came to visit, good, Susan. She also makes, and when I put the website in the description, you'll have to come back to get it. I'm sorry. I don't want to ruin anything here. But I don't know. I do know you can get them free at a market. Just go in and say, we need some buckets. Do you have any buckets? Where am I clicking out? Okay. Anyway, these are the two balms she made for me. This one is CHAUTAUQUA Apiary Cool Peppermint Lip Balm. And it, haven't even opened it yet. I don't know. I don't make any of this. Oh, sorry. The thing they sell for chickens. Oh, yeah, that you put glass jars to water them. Yeah. We thought about that. This works, but then I would be purchasing something getting started. We're going, you know, we're trying to use what we have. Ooh, this one, and this one is coconut lemongrass lip balm. And it's got ingredients are beeswax, organic coconut oil, unrefined cocoa butter, sweet almond oil, natural shea butter, vitamin E, and flavor. Wow. And then she brought up, I should say, 2 bars of soap. And this one is, they're both cold processed, which kind of leaves my mind right now because ever since I've been into the shape soaps, I don't make cold process. But this one is oatmeal milk and honey. It's just delightful. And this one is coconut lemongrass. 100% all natural handmade soap. Ingredients: water, olive oil, coconut oil, palm oil, sodium hydroxide, organic coconut milk, canola oil, organic shea butter. Good grief. And I'm going to have to ask her, how does she get these wrapped like that? But anyway, she sells these also. She brought me these. So when I get the website up, and I wanted to use these today, but I didn't because I wanted them to be nice when I showed you. Now I can use them. Okay. Lemongrass will draw the bees. Yeah, well, I'm not gonna use it there, but thank you. Hey, Laylo333, good to see you. The other thing is getting started on homesteading was asking me about catching swarms. Now, I'm going to read through this, okay? It's called How to Seduce a Swarm, maybe, okay? And it's called a swarm seducer. Now, I'm going to switch, go through all the whatever, but you know what a swarm is? They're swarming now, okay? If you can get on a swarm list, great. But you can also try this where you're living. So, let's see. How do you make this? These have been handed down by Slovenian ancestors, and it's a very simple recipe. Not only is our First Lady from Slovenia, but Slovenia is known for its bees. Okay? And I have to back up the train here, folks. Chautauqua, one thing I found out that was a bonus we found out was this beekeeper goes all around and he's invested in and has been experimenting with really super duper queens. I could tell by the nucs. I can tell what the nucs are doing now. I mean, it's just, it hasn't even been a week. It would be a week tomorrow. And, you know, B-Man went down. Okay, B-Man is telling you where he's getting some of the queens. I can tell. You know, we put them in there. They had the 5 frames, and they had the ones we gave them, and they've outgrown those. They've got comb. They had comb on the inside of the bottom board. They had on the screen. They had comb. I mean, they were just going for it. So, hi, Tammy. Good to see you. Okay, good to see you. So I said, oh, here we go. We could tell when we were placing them in the hive that they were not rowdy, not angry, extraordinarily enthusiastic, ready to work, tons of bees. There was something about them that was just good. I don't like brood. I don't like brood that, or I should say drone brood. I got to think about drone brood ever since we had some experiences with laying workers. However, hubby informed me, and then I went into the books and whatnot and read that a healthy hive has not only worker brood, but drone brood. Because the hive is strong and healthy and their instincts are saying, okay, we're going to need drone brood, we're going to need worker brood. I just personally panic when I see the traveling bees. Yeah, when I see drone brood, I just want to take it out and scrape it all off. And hubby goes, no, don't do that. But I got to think about drone brood. That they have these frames that you can put in. Yes, Susan, busy bees, that have larger cells to encourage. Oopsie daisy. Okay. To encourage the queen to lay the drone all in those frames. And then it's easy. You just take those frames out and get rid of them. I shouldn't say it that way, but that's for people that are really adverse to drones. But anyway, back to the recipe. What you do is you melt down some of your old brood combs. The blacker the better. Now, honey, can you type in there what exactly he means by old brood combs? I have no idea. I have to think it's some kind of wax or something that's in the hive. Anyway, the darker it is, the better. He dips them in rags or scrap fabrics into the liquid wax. He takes the saturated rags and pins them by one corner onto a branch or clothesline until they get hard, because you know the wax will harden when it solidifies again. And then, now this is what he does. He takes like a tossing line, like a ball of twine or something, and throws it over a branch. And then he uses a small line to haul, you know, ties on the rag, and then he will hoist it up, you know, so he can go up and down. I would think that you would have to have a rope, but no, this guy's using tossing line. Maybe there is such a thing as tossing line. String or twine. No, they're saying string or twine. Then he uses the small line to haul up a rope. No, he hauls up a rope. Sorry, he uses the small line to haul up a rope. So you go out there and you take your twine or your ball of, I want to call it butcher twine. Remember from the old days you went to get your meat and they wrapped it in that wonderful paper and then tied it with string, that stuff, and just throw it over a limb as high as you want to go get the swarm, okay? Not necessarily though, because you'll see. Then on the bottom of that, he uses a small line. He ties it to haul up a rope, okay? Then, let's see. And this guy uses that method when he's hanging up food to keep it from bears. Hi, the battery-powered house. You got it. Always welcome here. So, carpenter twine. Okay. Yeah, Susan said carpenter twine. Her husband is a fantastic construction worker. She would know. So, I don't know if I would have the nerve to have food up in a tree when there's bears around. I figure the bear might just sit there and wait. Mm-hmm. But anyway, anything light needs to throw over, but to haul up something more substantial. Then, once you have the rope over the branch, he attaches the swarm seducer, which is the rag, soaked in this melted wax from the frame. Hubby, did you put in there what, I don't know, old brood combs? The darker, the better. I'm thinking it's just comb off of a hive that you had, or get it from somebody that had bees. Because bees, they all have, that scent. So they'll say, a place for bees, whatever. So then he ties on the swarm seducer, which is the stiff cloth, okay, and hauls it up in the tree. Thank you, battery powered. So he's got this thing up in the tree, right? Right? And honeybees are incredibly attracted to the scent of old brood comb. That's when they say when you want to hive, put it on the ground, put your old combs in there. But, the bees that are looking for your hive to swarm or whatever, looking for a place to go, they're up. They're not on the ground flying. So I'm more inclined to try this, okay? So when a swarm lands on the seducer, and it says they will, then he gently unties the rope where he's had it tied up and lowers it down until he can drop the swarm in a cardboard box. It sounds so simple. Yeah. When hubby and I went out to get a swarm, I was just having a great time. What is it? Oh, good. 2 to 3 year comb darkens. That man, tell you, he knows it all. I mean, I know it all too, but we just know different things. But anyway, it's so funny. You take the branch and you'll just tap it, and the whole swarm jiggles like jello. And I kept doing that very gently. And hubby's going, "Why are you doing that?" I said, "Just look at this. It's amazing." It just goes jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Nobody leaves because the queen's inside. I just think it's so simple. Some people, like I said, will recommend simply hanging an old frame from a branch. But melting the comb has 2 advantages over that. First, melting the wax releases volatile compounds that are buried under layers of dried cocoons, akin to roughing up the surface of a cedar board to rejuvenate the scent. Everybody got that one? You're gonna, you're rejuvenating the cedar board by doing it. So you're bringing out more scents. The comb has been waxed over, waxed over, waxed over. Second, by soaking a rag in the wax, you are increasing the surface area of the wax and thereby enhancing the rate at which the odor disperses into the air. That's got to be physics. So, yeah, hubby is saying that he's explaining to you there what the old comb is. Now, if you know which trees your swarms always land in, that's a good place to start. If not, trees near the perimeter of the apiary are a good bet. If you don't have an apiary, just put it in a tree. The more seducers you hang near your hives, the better the chance of catching a swarm. So there, what I'm getting from this is you take your box out there and you just lower this thing down until it gets in your box, because they're all going to follow the queen, and the queen is inside the swarm. Yeah, sounds kind of easy, doesn't it? Now, if you don't want to do all that, okay, here we go, folks. You don't want to do all that. Okay, you go to Better Bee. I'm going to type that in because all of you aren't going to want to do that. And getting started, here's your deal. better be, why did that do that? Better be. It's one, if you Google Better Be, you're going to come up with the site. They sell all kinds of bee things. And they just happen to, well, okay, getting started on homesteading. We went over the pros and cons in our classes, which you can go back if it says, if you'll see one that says, if you go back and if you see one that says nucs versus packages versus swarms. One thing we don't recommend is if you have never dealt with bees and you need to find someone that knows something about bees to go with you to get the swarm. We don't advocate new beekeepers going to get the swarm, but we're not the keepers of you, so you can basically, if you're like, okay, I'm going to go get them. But anyway, Better Be. It's called the Swarm Catcher Lures. You get 2 in a pack for $7.16. Okay, got to keep them in the freezer until you're going to use them. So you take these things. It contains, I'm going to have to type this. Yeah, Better Be. I have to put in what this has. It has NASONOV. There we go. It's got that pheromone, which is released by worker bees and is an orientation pheromone, sometimes called the come hither pheromone. This synthetically produced pheromone will attract swarms to unoccupied, meaning no one's in it. Whoop, no bees are in it or have been in it. Hive equipment or a swarm catching box. Store in the freezer until use. So you get 2 swarm catchers for $7.16. I have no idea what the shipping is. Okay, I see Noah's Ark is saying, why 2 hives? If something happens with one hive, like say, you don't know what's going on or something happens, you have another hive that you can take a frame of brood from and put in your second hive and it may be a frame of bees. If one hive is roaring and going to town and the other hive, for whatever reason, just isn't, you can use that hive to build up your other hive. You take a frame of brood and a frame of worker bees. If you have laying workers, please be sure you don't have laying workers. If you do, they'll kill all the bees that you put in there, because once worker bees turn into laying worker bees, they'll destroy anything that comes into the hive. Bye, battery powered. Godspeed also. Noah's Ark, I got Noah's Ark thinking. Okay, Noah's Ark anytime. Willing to help. Me, I would probably do, if I couldn't find old frames and I was just starting, but I had bees a week, like a year or 2 years before, I would, I might, my mom had hives when I was young. Okay, loved helping her. Okay, getting started. Okay, I might get the piggy banks out and go for this $7 thing. I would try them both. That's just me. If I were comfortable getting a swarm. We're on swarm catching list, but right now that's about the last thing we want to see is more bees. And I'm not saying that in an egotistical way. We're just, tomorrow will be the 7-day mark for these nucs. So, we've put, for these nucs. So we've got supers on 7 out of 27. That leaves 20 to go check out. I'm pretty confident that all of them are going to need nucs. Now, we're doing that because of our bats, okay? Because deep hive boxes are heavy. really heavy. And okay, Susan, you itched all the time, honey? Oh boy, you need EpiPen or I don't know. I wonder what made you itch. Anyway, deep hive boxes. Now this is not for you young folks. This is for the old our generation here. Are heavy, and so these bees they don't know the difference between a deep or a nuke or a medium nuke or anything like that. Okay, so we're starting out with deep hive boxes, and then we're going to put two nukes instead of another deep because they're easier to lift. And in some of our experiments in the past, we queens they fill them up with brood. They don't care. They just keep laying, and they stop when they're out of space. And remember, I was reminding my husband. I said, okay, we put an empty box. Oh, Susan, empty box at the end, and bees. Remember one thing: if you don't remember anything else, look up. Bees work up. They may not be interested in those empty boxes at the end of the hive. They may just go straight up, look up, say, oh, we're out of space, and start getting ready to leave. And when you get your nukes or your hives or whatever, if they're gangbusters, then you know that the best course of action, if you're going away for the weekend or you're not going to get to your bee yard for like 2 to 3 days, I'd put a nuke on there. It's not going to kill them. Okay, that's just preventative to me, to keep them doing something. And what we've been doing when we're putting nukes on, we're using frames that have a drawn out comb because that takes up, remember we talked about how much energy goes into the bees drawing out comb, just drawing out comb. Over there we have like bowls of wax and honey like that will paint on some of the new frames we're going to have to use down the road. Keep in mind we're also managing our 3 hives that we went into the winter with 9. We came out of the winter with 3. We lost 6. Oh dear. We lost 1 to predators, and the others, I think we treated too late for mites and all kinds of things. So, but because this was our year to build up, we were committed to building up, we're doing that. My husband ran into a lady, and she says, well, I had a beehive, and they all died after a year. And she said, well, somebody told me I had to check them every now and then. So she checked them. Hi, Carrie, Cameron. Good to see you. Oh no, Kelly, you can't talk. I'll wave back. Okay. Maybe I'll stay on late on Instagram though. I'm not sure. Does your mother know that you're on here live? Because you're kind of young. And I don't want to get in any trouble, talking to children that are young and their mothers don't know what they're doing. Got to be careful of that, folks. Really do, Where was I? Mark, what was I saying? I went over to Kelly. But anyway, so right now we're maintaining these nukes, and I'm thinking we're going to start with putting on supers. And supers are smaller and lighter. You get a deep, you've got 10 frames. All you need is 2 or 3 frames of honey and brood, and you're, so. Okay, no problem getting started. All right, you're going to go to Better Bee, and you're going to get your $7.16 plus shipping. I don't know what shipping is. Probably tax now that the great law passed. your swarm things, and you're gonna also try to get some. I'll wave back, but that's about all. Kelly, you gotta. Okay. And Neon, howdy y'all. I can't, Kelly, because you're a minor. Oh dear. Yeah. Um, try to get some wax or something. Or even, Susan made a comment up there that one of these, some essential oil, I forgot what it was, is good for attracting bees. Heck, try that too. I mean, I would hang everything if I were going into swarms. But actually, before we started beekeeping, we had decided to start the next spring. And so we started collecting materials. Well, actually, we took 2 years while my husband was working his last couple of years. We were reading. Then we started going to a bee club, which is really good. We got the bee suits. We found out what kind we like, what kind we don't like. And going back to the bee classes, the bee club, we went to the first bee club, and you're going there, you walk up, they've got these hives, they're showing you what an inspection is, they're showing you what it's like, smoking and whatnot to get them out. And it's one thing to watch them on a video, it's one thing to watch us on a video. I'm a non-traditional beekeeper because I love my bees, so I'm like, oh, it looks good, whatever, give them more food, give them this, give them whatever. But some people get so uptight about their bees. I don't get that uptight about our bees. I don't know. My husband has a little different. Well, men, But to me, I like to give them lots of space, and I like to give them lots of food. But then that's the maternal. I think that's the maternal side coming out. But if we see a swarm on our property, we'll surely get it. I still say that swarm hives are your strongest hives. That's just me. So I don't know what else to say. I'm trying to think, was there anything else? This is swarm season. We're on 2 swarm lists. If you're not sure about nucs are late everywhere. Okay. This is the latest I've ever entertained getting nucs, and people are behind us in line getting nucs. So it's going to be a late nuc summer. People, because of the spring and everything, and people getting their nucs late. So that's just the way it works as far as nucs. With the prices of bees now, because bees have been dying off, it used to be that packages were significantly less costly than nucs. Pros and cons about packages. Some people have trouble with them. Some people don't have trouble with them. The downside, remember we discussed, is that your queen bee is in a little box. Separate. She's not accustomed to this group of bees, and you don't get brood, and you don't get anything like that. You just get bees. Okay, and you've got to put them in your hive. So it's you have to right out of the gate you're going to be feeding them, and they but then again, some people swear by them. Some people do fantastic with them. But as I tell all beekeepers, you're going to lose some bees. If you don't lose bees, I don't know. You're a phenomenal beekeeper, and you should write a book. But bees are quirky. That's why they say, to start with 2. But going back to the woman who started with 1, she kept them alive for 2 years. She never tested for mites. I don't think she understood mites. And they made it for 2 years. And then she went there one day to test them, and they were all dead. So, and then you go to the other extreme, people that are watching their bees and feeding their bees and doing all these spectacular, wonderful things. and they still die. When I put this video up, and I'll do that right after the stream, I encourage you to go to the site for Chautauqua Apiary, not only for soap and for lip balm, but because this gentleman, he doesn't invest in the honey or anything. All he does is nukes, 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 okay? And he's into the breeding of queens. So his nukes are top of the line nukes because of the breeding of the queens, because of where he's getting the queens from. And he's, I don't know what the name of the class or whatever, but I do know he's traveling to Arizona to learn the last part of insemination for the bees. That's something I really want to get into, raising queens. If you can get into raising queens, really, and from what I understand, it's not too bad, but you know, too hard, but you know, you got to learn it. So I don't know. Anyway, I think that's it for tonight. And before Instagram shuts off, because I want to go over on Instagram. Stay there, Carrie, whoever, Carrie, Lynn, whatever, and tell her, you know, I don't have a problem with her, but I want a note from her mother. I really do. So that's it, everybody. I'm going to end here. I don't think there's anything else to tell you. I'm going to enjoy my soap and my lip balm. Thank goodness I've already shared that with you. And we will see you next week, okay? Until then, this is the Bee Lady and Bee Man saying, have a wonderful, blessed week. Bye.